Spartacus, the slave who defied Rome. They called him a slave, but history remembers him as something far greater. The man who made Rome tremble, his name was Spartacus, a soldier, a gladiator, a rebel, and the symbol of every person who ever refused to kneel. Spartacus wasn't born a hero. He was born in Thrace, a region north of Greece. He once served as a soldier in the Roman army, but something went wrong. Some say he deserted. Others say he was betrayed. Either way, he was captured, branded a slave, and sold to a gladiator school in Capua, Italy. Imagine that one day you're a free man holding a sword for your homeland. The next you're shackled, trained to kill for sport, your blood spilled for applause. That was the world Spartacus woke up to. The gladiator school was brutal. Slaves were forced to fight each other to the death in the arena, to entertain the rich and powerful of Rome. But Spartacus wasn't like the others. He didn't see the arena as fate, he saw it as a cage, and one day he decided to break it. In 73 BC, Spartacus and about 70 other gladiators planned an escape. Armed with kitchen knives and whatever they could grab, they broke out of the school, killed the guards, and fled into the countryside. It wasn't supposed to work, but it did. Soon more slaves began to run away and join them. Farmers, shepherds, miners, even women and children. Within months, Spartacus had thousands of followers, and suddenly Rome faced something it had never seen before. An army made of slaves. Spartacus didn't just want revenge, he wanted freedom. He trained his followers not as an angry mob, but as a disciplined army. They learned to fight Roman legions and win, using stolen weapons, ambush tactics, and courage. At first, the Roman Senate laughed. A band of slaves against Rome? But then came the news. Roman armies were being defeated, one after another. Spartacus was not just surviving, he was winning. For 2 years, his army swept across Italy, defeating every general sent against them. Some say his forces grew to over 100,000 people, but Spartacus wasn't trying to destroy Rome itself. He wanted to escape it. His plan was to march north, cross the Alps, and return home to Thrace, to freedom. Yet freedom is rarely simple. When the time came to cross the mountains, many of his men refused. They had tasted power, tasted victory, and wanted to march on Rome instead. Spartacus knew it was suicide, but leadership means walking with your people, even when you know where the path ends. So he turned back. Rome, humiliated and furious, finally sent one of its toughest commanders, Marcus Licinius Crassus, the richest man in the Republic. Crassus rebuilt the legions, restored discipline, and set traps. He ordered ditches, walls, and spikes to box Spartacus in. Still, Spartacus fought back like a storm. His men broke through Roman lines, fought their way south, and tried to reach the sea, hoping to escape to Sicily. But the ships they counted on never came. They were trapped. In 71 BC, the final battle came near the river Silarus in southern Italy. Spartacus stood in the front line, refusing to hide behind his men. Ancient writers say he cut his way toward Crassus himself, trying to reach the Roman general in the chaos. He was wounded, surrounded, and finally fell, fighting to the very end. The rebellion was crushed. Over 6,000 captured slaves were crucified along the Appian Way. A warning from Rome to anyone who dared to dream of freedom again. But you can't crucify an idea, and Spartacus became one. For Rome, he was a rebel. For history, he became a symbol. He proved that even the lowest could rise against the greatest power on earth. That freedom, once tasted, can turn slaves into soldiers. And that courage, even when it fails, can outlive empires. Spartacus never saw victory. He never built a new world. But his fight inspired generations after him, from revolutionaries to workers to dreamers everywhere. People who believe that no power, no empire can truly own the human spirit. When you hear his name, don't just think of a man with a sword in a dusty arena. Think of a soldier who refused to bow, a slave who taught Rome what fear really looked like, a man who showed the world that freedom is worth everything, even your life. That was Spartacus, the slave who defied Rome.